Hello everyone, today I wanted to talk about the Clint Capela extension and what it means for the Atlanta Hawks moving forward, and in turn, how their contract scenarios look moving forward as they are already now committing to their future this offseason with the extension of Clint Capela, extension of Trae Young, and the re-signing of John Collins, as they have locked up multiple pieces of their core for the next 3, 4, 5 years. And I want to talk about what that means for the Atlanta Hawks moving forward and how their team building and salaries look moving forward into the next couple of years. If you do go on to enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. With that being said, let's get right into it and talk about the Clint Capela extension and what it means for the Atlanta Hawks moving forward. Clint Capela got extended for 2 years past 2022-23 season. He is now under contract through the 2024-25 season. He'll be paid 18.6, 19.7, 22.1, and 23.8 million respectively over the next 4 years. Pencils him in as the starting center for the Atlanta Hawks long term. And that's just the way it is. I wasn't sure if they were going to keep him, they were going to extend him, or they were going to wait and see how the development of Okongwu was going to go. Maybe they were going to make him a center, run with him and Collins. Though Okongwu could project more to be long-term a power forward. But nonetheless, it seems obvious now that Clint Capela is the center of the future, as he is now under contract for the next 4 years. I think at a relatively fair price. I think he was one of the top centers in the league last year, in behind some of the stars. He was probably by far the best season of his career. An elite rim protector, elite rebounder, and someone who is very valuable for this Atlanta Hawks team and will continue to do so and will be paid to do so moving forward. But that being said, I wanted to talk about what this means along with some of the other extensions they made and re-signings they've made this offseason as far as their long-term salary scenario. So if we look forward to the 2023-24 summer, the offseason, are heading into that season, the 2023 offseason and the 2023-2024 season. John Collins, Clint Capela, Trae Young, Okongwu, and Jalen Johnson will still be under contract, and Bogdanovic will be as well, but under a player option. It remains to be seen whether he will opt in or out of that at 18 million, as he still has the next 2 years of play and performance and health to dictate that. But that being said, between the core of Collins, Trae Young, Clint Capela, and Bogdanovic, if he does opt in, that is 97 million in committed spending for that 2023-2024 season. That does not include Danilo Gallinari, who will be an unrestricted free agent that summer, given he will then be 35. He will probably be on a significantly less deal or just end up walking. DeLon Wright will be an unrestricted free agent. DeAndre Hunter, most notably, as well as Cam Reddish, will be restricted free agents, as well as Kevin Huerter, who was an restricted free agent in the summer of 2022. So especially Kevin Huerter, Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter being the young core future guys on this team, all being restricted free agents between now and then Danilo Gallinari, DeLon Wright, Williams, all being unrestricted free agents in between that time as well. And obviously they can go over the cap to sign pretty much any of these guys other than DeLon Wright, I would think Lou Williams. But any of the guys they drafted, they will have bird rights on, so they can go over the cap to retain DeAndre Hunter. They can go over the cap to retain Cam Reddish, Kevin Huerter, and Okongwu, who will be a restricted free agent in 2024. Given the fact they already have 97 million in committed spending between those 4 guys, I mean that Bogdanovic does opt in, which of course we don't know yet. He very well may not. But nonetheless, there is a lot of money already committed, and that's why I say, and why somewhere in this title it is mentioned, the Atlanta Hawks are already committing to their future. And it's going to be interesting to see how they balance all these contracts, who they decide to keep, who they decide to let go of, who they trade, who they let walk. Because ultimately, they're probably not going to be able to keep everyone. They're not going to keep Collins, Gallo, Capela, Bogdan, Trae Young, DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish, and Kevin Huerter. It's just not going to happen. That's way too much salary. They're not going to go that deep into the luxury tax. Sure, the salary cap will go up a little bit between now and the 2021 offseason and the 2023 offseason, but it's not going to go up anywhere near enough to the point where they're going to feel comfortable and they're not going to have to dive significantly into the luxury tax to retain Gallo, Bogdan on a new extension, or have him just even opt in, DeAndre Hunter, Matt Reddish, and Kevin Huerter. That is just way too much money. That's just the way it is, and so they're going to have to make some decisions. That's why there's been so many talks of Cam Reddish possibly being traded. Part of it's just been due to him being up and down, not having really a space in the team to play as many minutes as he probably should. But part of it's just the fact that they recognize that him and DeAndre Hunter play a significant role. They've now already brought back John Collins. They probably want to bring back Kevin Huerter. They still have Bogdan Bogdanovic on the team. So he's just kind of surplus to requirements. And so they have 2 more years before they have to pay him. And they want to get some value back for him. And fair enough, because they're starting to recognize as well that they are building their future right now. And so they have to decide who they want to keep, who they don't want to keep, and who they're going to actually want to pay. And they've already decided a lot of that with Trae Young, Clint Capela, and Trae Young being the core 3 pieces. Bogdan Bogdanovic still around for the next 2 years, and potentially a third, and then longer if they decide to bring him back. So they've already committed to their core group moving forward in Trae, John, and Clint. And then they'll have to make pieces. DeAndre Hunter, I would argue, is definitely a significant piece you want to bring back. Kevin Huerter probably depends on how you feel about if you're going to bring back Bogdan Bogdanovic or not, but he could be someone they look to bring back. And then you still have to fill out a bit of a bench around them. So there's definitely a lot of decisions for the Atlanta Hawks to make moving forward. Obviously, bringing back Trae Young on an extension was a no-brainer that needed to be done, and that's a good extension to have good done and out of the way. I think Clint Capela is a good extension, as much as I don't love paying that much for centers that aren't elite on both ends of the floor. I think he is very impactful on this team. And John Collins, as much as I still don't know if I love paying him close to $25 million a year, I think it's still a lot cheaper than it was reported, or was at least what John Collins' camp was going to want to get out of a deal. So I think ultimately it's probably a pretty good signing for the Atlanta Hawks. He still is only 24, still has room to grow, and is continuing to become a bit of a better defender, better rim protector. And they have very good rim protection on this team now with Clint Capela and John Collins moving forward. So I just wanted to give my thoughts on where the Atlanta Hawks are at. So they're going to continue to have to make some moves. I don't expect Cam Reddish to be a member of this team. And when he hits restricted free agency, I fully expect he will be moved. I don't expect Kevin Huerter and Bogdan Bogdanovic to both continue to sign new deals with this team when they both come up for their new contracts, due to the similar role that they can play as a spacer and as a shot maker. But they've locked up their core in Trae Young, Clint Capela, and John Collins, and they're going to have to continue to figure out what pieces they want to continue to add and retain around that. And it'll be interesting to see how the development of the Atlanta Hawks goes. There's definitely an argument that could be said that the next couple of years of the Atlanta Hawks is going to be their best years, because this is while they still have some impactful players on their rookie deals, and they can still have players like Danilo Gallinari, like Bogdan Bogdanovic on the team, while also still having Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter, and Kevin Huerter. Because realistically, once those younger guys have to be paid, they're not going to be able to retain all of this other talent, have so much high-end depth on this team. So an argument that definitely can be made that the best window for winning for the Atlanta Hawks is the next couple of years. And that's a very fair argument. Not an argument I will have in this video, but probably an argument I will have later on this summer. We'll talk about it in another video. That being said, that is my thoughts on the Atlanta Hawks so far, the extension of Clint Capela, and how they are going to look moving forward from a roster building and a contractual standpoint. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below about the extension of Clint Capela and how you think they are building this team, what moves they could make, who do you think they will retain and will not retain. That being said, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And if you want to hear my thoughts on other things NBA offseason, then be sure to click the box on the right hand side of the screen. And if you want to watch another video, then be sure to click the box on the left. With that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one.